Life gets so much easier whenever you accept that you're allowed to ask for help. For a long period of time, you probably thought it was bad to let others help you. You may still currently think that, but that's not the reality that you have to have. My name's Tyler. Welcome. If you've seen me before, appreciate you being here yet again. And if this is your first time seeing me, you're free to subscribe, free to stay, free to be anything, anywhere. It's kind of the whole point. With that being said, if your reality is I can't allow others to help me because that means I'm failing, or I can't allow others to help me because that means I'm weak, or I can't allow others to help me because that means XYZ, then until you change your beliefs, which a belief is just a recurring decision, until you change your recurring decision and thoughts on that, then you're going to continue to live that reality. So, the question is, how do we allow others to help us? And better yet, how do we ask for help without it feeling like we're failing, or feeling like we're losing, or feeling like XYZ? It's very simple. um, you just do it. You have to get to a place to where you're very confident and open, and you understand that everything's going to work out for you, and that if you're positive and you think positive and you feel positive and you embody that being, that's the life you'll live. And I know it may sound cliche, or you may sound, be like, oh no, that's not, everybody says that, but no, life is gonna life, which it will, but it's always easier to get through whenever you are aware. Because when you're aware, then as long as you're aware and you're capable and you care about yourself and you love yourself and you trust yourself, then you'll embody the highest version of you, the purest version of you, the most authentic version of you, the most genuine version of you, the one that just exists and basically gets paid to exist. You know what I mean? Um, that's the you that you want to be. That's the you that I think everybody should be. That's the next evolution stage for people, for consciousness, for humanity, society. Not society, humanity. Um, Society is always going to be a game. It's always going to be, that's a long process to heal. But you can start today with yourself, and that's all you need to focus on. It's just one step, right? But allowing other people to help you can be fulfilling for that person. Like me, if people ask me for help, it makes me genuinely happy. It makes me feel like I'm needed. It makes me feel like they see me as somebody who's capable. They respect me. Like I just feel I'm like, wow, thank you so much for asking me for help. Like it makes me feel really great. So I always want to do it selflessly, right? And if people are scared that it's going to be a negative thing and they just don't ask me for help, then they're taking away that enjoyment from me, that light from me, that moment, that experience, that connection, and that moment of just like growth and learning in general. I take every interaction and I reflect on it, every single interaction. I'm aware of my entire day and how I'm going through it, and I reflect throughout the day. I reflect in the moment. I reflect actively while people are speaking. I'm deeply listening and understanding. It's so it's always nice to be able to experience something different and unique, right? So stop being scared to ask for help. You should ask for help. You should want to ask for help, because that's a community. That's what we're striving for, is people who just help people because they help. It's not even, where I come from, where I grew up. You see somebody on the side of the road, you pull over, you stop. Hey, how can I help you? Nowadays you can't. A lot of people have fear. They're like, well, I can't do that. I don't know who that is. What if they do something? And that's a whole different topic of why it's different. And where I come from, I'm very blessed and I'm very lucky. It's very reflecting now on it. It's a great area. It's the middle of nowhere, population of like 700. You know, if you really dive into it, but that expands, right? Um, but you know, where I'm from, where I resonate with where I'm from and growing up is very small town vibes. It's pretty awesome. Uh, Maybe that's why I'm so polite. Maybe that's why I'm so like, you know, compassionate and kind, caring, empathetic, because I grew up with people who had a sense of community, right? Like there was one church, right? And even if you weren't in the church, I wasn't in the church. I wasn't raised that way. But even if you weren't, everybody still had like similar beliefs, right? Because everybody, whether you did or your parents did or your siblings do, like it doesn't, or your friends do, if they go, you know, somebody who goes to church, they're going to go to that church, is what I'm trying to say. Which eventually their morals or values rub off onto their friends and their family, and then it's a small community, so then everybody becomes compact, right? Uh, it's so interesting how if you just let the mind run and just flow, you can get from one point to the next, right? Went from talking about health to, you know, talking about how community is important, really recognizing that, reflecting on that. You should want to build a community, and the safest, not safest, maybe safest, yeah, a safe way to truly connect and trust others is to allow them to help you. Because once you see that they selflessly help you, and there's nothing bad that came from it, they didn't expect anything, they didn't throw it in your face, they didn't hold it against you, right? And they just genuinely helped you just to be there for you. You realize that you can trust that person like that, right? It builds a little bit of a bond, a connection. Um, and once you have that, then you can start expanding and building your community, right? And that's what I want to do with you guys. So, how can I help? How can I be of service? How can we grow? How can we learn? How can we thrive? Nostrovia. Um, yeah. And also, whenever you ask others for help, you can also offer help. You can always tell people, like, hey, I'm here to help. You know, if you need anything, let me know. And mean it. Genuinely mean it. Just like, you know, just like, hey, if it doesn't harm me, got you. That's kind of my motto, you know. If it ain't gonna hurt me or hurt others, I got you. And even if it hurts others sometimes. Depends on the goof, depends on the prank, you know. We're wild sometimes. But uh let's do this. Let's do this, boys. Let's do this chat. Let's do this, ladies and gentlemen. All right, I'm gonna get a tarot card for us, and I want this to represent and symbolize the rest of March for those who are resonating with this, for those who needed to hear it's okay to ask for help, for you. So this is for you. This is for I. I resonate with this. Okay. This is how the rest of March will be for us. Okay. And what do we got? Card Temperance. Core energy, balance, integration, patience, alignment. Message for the rest of March. Things don't need to be forced right now. The energy favors steady adjustments rather than dramatic moves. You may notice yourself blending different parts of your life: work, spirituality, relationships, personal growth into something more harmonious. Temperance often appears when life is asking for moderation and refinement, not extremes. Themes to focus on: patience with timing, emotional balance, integrating lessons you've recently learned, and then trusting the gradual progress. Simple reflection for you. What area of your life right now needs balance instead of pressure? That's where the growth for the rest of the month is likely to come from. Finding balance, right? Integrating, learning to be patient, becoming more aligned, working on your relationships, integrating more of your life all into one, finding a union, right? Finding a community. And how do you find a community? Help others. Allow them to help you. Because once you do, then you can start trusting. And once you can start trusting, you can start truly loving. And once you start doing that and you feel that and you embody that, life gives it back to you 100x. And once you get a taste of that, once you get a taste of that nirvana, that bliss, it's something profound. You can't even comprehend it until you experience it, right? I can tell you it's amazing. I can tell you it's great. And that's why I use words like bliss. But once you really come to a point of seeing it all and life kind of makes sense to you and you learn to live from a place of alignment and truly being yourself, and you have people around you and you have no stress or worries after coming out of a long period of victim mindset, victim mentality, fight or flight mode, a deregulated deregulated nervous system. After coming out of that into this, you'll never want to go back. So you just have to make it out of this once and you're set. So do the work slowly but surely. Tell me what's one thing you can do right now that would change your life forever. Love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. You're free to subscribe. Have a great life.